What's up, everybody? We are back with the Magic and Andrew MMA Betting Podcast, episode 33. We've got a pay-per-view this week. Glover Teixeira defending his belt against Prochazka. Special guest today, we've got the Bear Jew, Lance Fischel. What's going on, man?
Not too much. Happy to be here. Talk some fights. We actually have some good fights today. So, yeah, thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, our pleasure. Magic, what's going on, man? Gonna kick it to you for the first fight. As always, for those following along, we're going on best fight odds order, bottom to top. Ramona Pasquale is taking on Jocelyn Edwards at 145 pounds. Floor is yours.
Yeah, pass. Like, I don't know. Edwards should really win every minute on the feet, but she lost to Jessica Rose Clark. She had no answer for any body lock position or for the grappling, and Rose Clark has fought at 125. This is at 145. Edwards is going up. Pasquale is not very good, but she's like dense, like big, not fat, borderline fat, but she's big. Maybe she can get some takedowns, and Edwards is fucking horrible from her back. So I don't know. Like, yeah, pass. I'm picking Edwards, but no confidence at all.
Lance, what do you think?
Yeah, just starting out with a real barn burner here, a couple dumpster fires, but I'm not going to bet this one, but I would say I lean Edwards, but she can get taken down pretty easily. She's going to be the smaller fighter here. So she's not, I don't know how you could lay juice on her, but I don't know how you can trust the dog. So I'm going to pick Edwards, but it's going to be a pass on this one.
Cool. Yeah, I actually like Edwards a lot in this spot. I bet her at like minus 130. I cap her closer to minus 200. Pasquale is honestly one of the worst fighters on the roster, in my opinion. And I get it that Edwards has been taken down and held down. But, I mean, it was against like Jessica Rose Clark, who's much, much better than Pasquale. Even from bottom, it wouldn't surprise me if Edwards is able to win this fight with elbows, a submission off her back, a sweep. Like Pasquale, all she knows is wrestling, and like she only knows wrestling a little bit. Like when she's on the ground, she's pretty clueless. On the feet, she's clueless. And yeah, I get it. It's at 145. She's big, but like it's not like she's in great shape. I don't know. I like Edwards a lot in this spot. I'm betting her here. It's actually one of my favorite spots on the card. Obviously got in on a bit of an earlier number, but I do think she's going to win this fight. Speaking of dumpster fires, next up we have what could have been in Silvana Gomez Suarez versus Liang. I bet on Suarez in her last fight. She knocked Vanessa Demopoulos half dead and got submitted from guard. So have a bit of a interesting relationship with her. But I'm picking her to win this fight against Liang. And again, it's a similar situation to the last fight. She can wrestle for about a round, but she has bad cardio. I mean, also at the same time, though, it's like tough to trust Suarez after what happened in that Demopoulos fight when you're paying juice, especially she's getting up there a little bit in age. She hasn't shown to have great grappling, but I am picking her to win this fight. Lance, what do you think for this one?
Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of easy to break down. It depends the side you're going. It's either going to be Na gets the takedown before she gasses out and gets a sub, or she's going to get her ass kicked on the feet. I lean Na here. I think she can get a takedown early on and get that sub. I don't know if I'll trust it for a bet. I looked at the sub prop. It's only plus 200, so it's not much better than the money line. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to trust either. It's a great pay-per-view, but these first two fights, I was saying the other day, like you really got to earn it to get to the good fights on this card. But I'll take Na here, and I think she gets the sub. But I also wouldn't be surprised she gasses out in 3 minutes and gets knocked out.
Yeah. Magic, we got anything here?
This is a very good fight, honestly. Like it's trash level, but it's going to be very good. The under is fine, I think, under 1.5. I know it's wide for a girl's fight, but now basically never goes over. Like she has gone over like once last 15 fights or something like that. And yeah, I agree with Lance. If she gets the takedown, she can probably submit her. Suarez is like, she's obviously a low level grappler, but there is a difference between I'm a low level grappler and okay, I'm panicking, I'm going to get choked instantly. And that's how she looks. Like against Godinez, Godinez was looking like Gordon Ryan, transitioning wherever she wanted, and she's not super great or anything. And this one, I don't know, man. Nice, really trashy, but I think her chances are honestly better snatching the armbar from bottom than if she gets a takedown, because it's that type of trash women fight, and the armbar from bottom is the natural predator of the women fighter. So yeah, why not? The under is fine. I have nothing. I mean, I don't hate Suarez inside the distance plus 200. I think, honestly think if you take her inside the distance plus 200 and now by submission plus 200 is almost a free ride. but pass.
Yeah. Just want to say thanks to Gabe really quick. I think this is the biggest donation we've ever got. So we
Yeah,
appreciate it.
by
Man.
far.
You're making us rich over here. But seriously, thank you. We appreciate it. We have about 100 live viewers right now. So it's awesome. If you guys would like and subscribe, we would appreciate it. Next up, we've got Della Batgerel taking on Kang Hyung Ho. No, isn't it? What's his name? Best Fight Odds definitely has that wrong.
Hyung Ho Kang.
Yeah, let's go with that. You start this one off.
Mr. Perfect, right? It's his nickname.
Let's just call him that.
Good nickname. I like that nickname.
Yeah, it's a good one.
He has that Amirkhani energy. I like him. Is there something wrong with this fight? Because the props are not out almost anywhere. I thought it was an error from Best Fight Odds, but there are only 2 books with props. Is it going to get cancelled or something?
I don't know. I think there was something on Google, or like if you typed in the fight, like there were 2 fights in a row and it was the same one. I think it was just a duplicate and they canceled one of them. So I think that kind of tricked some people into thinking it was canceled. But as far as I know, it's happening.
I like Kang here. I have not taken anything because I cannot access the line. But if Kang by submission is a good number, I probably take it. Like something like plus 400, plus 500. He has an obvious path to victory grappling here. But I'm concerned that he's not going to shoot a takedown until he's half dying. Because he likes to scrap, you know what I mean? Like the Ishihara fight, that was so stupid. Ishihara cannot grapple at all. And he basically killed the guy, but he went life and death. I don't like that, but I think he's the side at dog money. Batgerel is nice on the feet, but there's not much to it. Like she's aggressive, she's fast, he has a punch, and that's it.
Lance, you got any bets on this fight?
I don't have any bets on this one. All my bets are coming up, but I lean Batgerel on this one. I just can't trust Kang. He might be able to get some takedowns. I'm not sure if he's going to hold him down, and I don't know if he can get the sub. He just seems to be struggling a lot more over the last couple of years. He had the crazy layoff, and then he had another layoff. Looked like ass versus Aniyaya, which I know can be a tough fight, but I just don't know if he has the grappling traps to be able to hold him down or get a submission. So I think the fight's going to take place in the feet way too much. So I think Batgerel is going to be able to light him up a little bit. I don't know if he gets a finish, but I think the finish could be out there. But I think he's the more likely winner on this one.
Yeah, important to note too that Batgerel just got finished pretty recently. I think it was only like a couple months ago. So it'll be interesting to see how his durability is here. I'm picking him to win, not with a lot of confidence. Kang does have the grappling path, but like you guys touched on, not sure if he'll A, go to it right away, or B, be able to hold Della down. So I'm probably going to watch this one from the sidelines unless there's a significant line movement between now and the fight. Next up, we have Andre Fialho versus Jake Matthews. I'll kick this one off because it is a strong opinion on my end. I think this line's way off. I'm picking Jake Matthews to win outright. I bet him here. Fialho on the feet kind of just plods forward, very KO reliant. Jake Matthews, he's not bad anywhere. He's not great anywhere, but he definitely has a grappling edge here. He's a black belt. Fialho has shown the ability or lack thereof to be held down in his fights. I think his cardio is suspect. I think Matthews has an edge there. So outside of a KO, I think Matthews should really win this fight. I like him as a dog here. Arguably my favorite spot on the card. Lance, do you agree with that, or are you picking Fialho here?
Actually, I'm Matthews here. This is my first bet on the card. Probably one of my most confident plays outside of one other one later. It's hard to bet Matthews sometimes because he's such an idiot. Matthews just seems to make all the mistakes possible in fights and finds ways to lose. But I think in this one, he's had cardio issues. But I think in this fight, he's actually, like you said, going to have the better cardio here. And I think he's just a little bit more rounded. I think he can get takedowns, wear him out in the first round. Might struggle a bit with takedowns early, but I think he can wear Fialho out, get on top, and then just have some ground and pound, maybe even catch a sub when he's on top. But I think it's going to be a lot of control, a lot of ground and pound. And if he loses the first, I'm pretty confident he can at least take the next 2. So like Matthews here and do have a bet on him.
Cool. Magic, you going to round us out on a consensus Matthews pick?
Yeah, I like Matthews a lot here. He should be a decent size favorite in my opinion. Fialho is really not all that, but he has high rolled a couple finishes. I will never forgive Baeza for losing that fight. I mean, probably he will never forgive himself. That was pathetic. He should have rolled there. I played Matthews inside the distance. Plus 500 is a crazy line. Fialho has a bad chin. He's a horrible grappler in the regionals. He has been dominated a couple times by bad grapplers. Probably you are going to catch. Holy shit! Someone just donated $50.
Yeah, seriously, we appreciate
What's going
that a
on
lot.
today?
Yeah, that's the biggest donation we've ever
This
got.
is like 3
Twofold.
months of work in Spain. This is a third world country.
Yeah, Magic's gonna be able to buy a house with his half of his money. So we appreciate it, Sam. Thanks.
No, but yeah, I like Matthews a lot. The guy, he has like a horrible feel for the game. He makes all the wrong decisions. Seems like he really doesn't want to fight. But yeah, I think Fialho is going to force Matthews to finish him. You know what I mean? Fialho only knows one way: forward, hard, first round. I think Matthews is going to hit him with an overhand and put him out, honestly.
Yeah, so we're all in agreement there, all picking Jake Matthews. I'm getting a little feedback here. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Better now. Okay, cool. Next up, we have Steve Garcia taking on Machete. Did I pronounce that right?
Close enough. I mean, who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
Majestate. I think it's
Mahachate.
Majestate.
I mean, this is a joke.
Come on, Andrew,
Like,
this is an easy one.
Mahachate is coming off being a plus 500 underdog on the Contender Series. Ended up cashing for a lot of people there. But I think he's very green. I think Steve Garcia, this is a great fight for him. I bet Garcia earlier at like minus 146. I think there's value on him still. I can't see how you get to less than minus 200 here. Garcia, 4-inch reach advantage, fought the way better competition, has the grappling upside. I mean, whatever his name is 22 years old. He looked very green. I mean, he was just fighting another can on the Contender Series. So I think this is a big market overcorrection. I like Garcia in this spot. Go ahead. You look like you want to talk.
Like the disrespect here for the legend Majestate is crazy.
What is it, Mahachate?
I don't know, but
yeah,
I bet him on Contenders. One of my favorite bets of all time. He was like plus 500. No tape available. I blind bet him. I saw the other guy and I was like, there is no lightweight on earth that doesn't cover plus 500 against this guy. I bet him absolute chat. The guy has a chin. He has cardio. He's a machine, man. This guy may be making a run. I think he's live in this fight. I have nothing on the fight, and Majestate inside the distance is plus 250. I was hoping they were going to make Majestate by knockout a crazy number like plus 800 because I really wanted to make that bet. I probably end up taking something on track just for the culture. I have to be Majestate here. I feel I have nothing, but I want him to win this bad. Garcia is not really good, man. This guy who is the worst fighter in the history of fighting, like Ontiveros. He had him on skates a couple times.
Dude, I had Ontiveros KO1 at like plus.
Yeah, same. I did. Do you remember? That was horrible. He had him out.
He's huge though. Ontiveros is way bigger though. He was like.
Ontiveros looks like if I punch him, he will die. He's like a fucking noodle. What are you talking about?
Dude, he fought at 85 before, and Garcia had fought at like 45 and 55. He's way bigger than Mahachate or whatever the hell his name is.
Majestate is different every time, and then just whatever feels right is what I go with.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right. I mean, I'm bound to get it right if I keep just saying different things.
Bro, Majestate has fought at 170. He's big for the division. Like his fight before Contenders, I think was at 170. Steve Garcia may be in deep shit here. You may want to get out of that bet.
You just want like to root for him. Like you want him, you want to like him here more than you do.
I'm going to end up having like 5,000 on him by Saturday.
Lance, you got anything on this fight?
I mean, I'm not gonna bet it. I think Garcia is not very good. I'm not a big Garcia guy. I think he's gonna move forward. I think he's gonna throw some punches, but he's not that talented. I think that's he usually has a skill gap, more of like an activity or heart gap or anything like that. He's just not that good. But in this fight, he's facing someone that probably shouldn't be in the UFC, whatever his name is, Machete or whatever. And think how the name, we're having all those fights, the road to the UFC in Asia, like all those different events. So like we're going to be loaded with names we can't pronounce. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to pick Garcia here, but I'm not going to be betting on this one.
Yeah, we're going to be loaded with fade material if a few more of them get into the UFC. So we'll see what happens. Next up, this fight's a total pass for me, so I'll kick it off and make it brief. Brendan Allen versus Jacob Malkoun. Like, Allen should win this fight, but he has looked a little bit sketchy lately. I definitely don't trust him at 3-1. Malkoun, he tries hard. I bet him a couple times on his way up. Like, it's funny saying he tries hard, but like he almost like that's almost his biggest strength is he knows what to do. He goes for it. Like he's going to look to grapple, which is going to be tough to do against Allen, who's a black belt. But Allen is defensively liable on the feet. He should be the better striker, but I don't know. This fight just screams past to me. I'm curious if either one of you have a hot take on it. Lance, you got anything here?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be playing Brandon Allen inside the distance here. I think it's like minus 110 last time I looked. Allen, I think, has the advantage everywhere in this fight. Maybe outside of cardio, he kind of slips a little bit at the end. But I think on the feet, if he chooses to stay there, I think he is the better striker. Yeah, he has some defensive liabilities, but he's been working his kicks a lot more. I think he's just a better overall striker. And I think pure grappling, he is the much better grappler. I don't think Malkoun's going to be able to take him down. I'm guessing Malkoun's game plan is to get on top of Allen, which is kind of dangerous in itself. Allen's has a pretty good guard. So I think eventually Allen's going to be able to finish him with some ground and pound or maybe get a sub. If he does get taken down with his guard, he could definitely sub from his back. So I think at around even money, Brandon Allen inside the distance is a pretty good bet. So I'll be on that one.
Cool. Magic, you on that as well?
Yeah, Malkoun by decision is the obvious bet here. Like plus 800 is crazy. I took it fairly big for a prop. Like, how is this plus 800? The guy cannot bust a grape. Allen has a shit chin, but Malkoun just goes forward, has a great cardio. His wrestling is actually underrated. He doesn't have like great pure wrestling, but his MMA wrestling works. He gets people with the fucking same trip 80 times. Allen is not that great, I think. Daukaus is not a great wrestler, and he got some takedowns. He got some shitty single legs on him. I think he got it. He's pretty big for the division. He didn't look undersized against Sam Alvey, and he looked pretty bad in my opinion. I don't think Allen is that good. He obviously has on paper the edge on every skill, basically striking, jiu-jitsu, but I think Malkoun wants it more. You know what I mean? Goes forward, maybe some sketchy moments.
He tries hard.
Gets him against the fence, and then it's father's plan. Father's plan, bro. Take down, gas, lay on top, take down, gas, lay on top.
I'll take the skilled guy versus the guy who tries really hard.
Bro, he can take a punch too. Like he has done this already to fucking Al Hassan and this other guy that was a great athlete, the AJ Dobson, shit fighter, but great athlete. I think 3 in a row for Malkoun. Robert Whittaker, grappling coach, and I think he's a black belt too.
Dude, I had him submission plus 1600 against Al Hassan. I was so mad.
But he just decision machine. Father's plan.
Next up, this one's probably going to be a pass for me too. Sungwoo Choi taking on Josh Kulbaba. I admit that I've underrated Kulbaba in the past, but I think Sungwoo Choi should have a power advantage here. He should just be a little bit better at everything than Kulbaba does, but the gap isn't that wide, so I'm fine with passing. Like minus 200, minus 250 seems fine by me. Magic, curious if you have anything on this fight. I remember, you've bet Kulbaba in the past, right? I feel like we've talked about this before.
I hate this fucking Kulbaba.
Oh, never mind.
I had Jourdain by submission over him. Jourdain fucking idiot, didn't get that. He got like 18 chokes, didn't finish. And then I bet him he fought like the worst fight in the history of the UFC, his last fight, Kulbaba. I don't even remember his name. The guy was like 27-10 or something like that. I was like, Kulbaba inside the distance, massive number, easy bet here. He's fighting Mr. Potato, and the guy just cage pushes the guy for 15 minutes. I think Choi is going to beat the living shit out of this guy. Like, Kulbaba is not a good enough wrestler to get him down, and Choi on the feet, Choi is some serious material at 145. I think Choi moneyline is a good parlay piece. Choi inside the distance plus 160 is pretty good, I think. I think it's going to murk him.
Lance, you on anything here?
Yeah, I'm actually with Magic on this one. I think Choi is going to be all over him on this one. I don't think Kulbaba's going to be able to get him down. He's going to be forced to strike, and I think the better striker, the more power, the bigger guy, I think he's going to do whatever he feels like in this fight. He should get a finish in this one. Kulbaba's tough, but he's going to be taking a lot of punches, and I think the skill gap's just really wide in the feet here, and I think this is going to play out on the feet. So I like Choi. I think he's worthy of a parlay piece. It's not even that high considering the skill gap here, so I'll have Choi in a parlay.
Cool. Lance, I'll stick with you for this next one. This fight seems to be the most highly debated fight of the week outside of the main event. We've got Ramazan Ameev as a plus 130 underdog to Jack Della Maddalena, who is about minus 150, minus 160. Curious your thoughts here.
Yeah, I like Ameev in this one. I know he's not the best, but I'd say he's consistent in his approach and what he does. Sometimes he has some issues with not throwing enough punches, but I think in this one, he's going to be forced to be more aggressive just because of the style. He's a very, very hard guy to finish. I think he's been finished once or knocked out once in his entire career. And I think once this fight gets into the second and third round, I really think he's going to be taking over. He's going to be working in the grappling. He's going to be able to secure some takedowns, work some ground and pound. And I think he might lose the first possibly if just a lot more action, but I think he's going to take over late, get the takedowns in, out cardio him and outwork him to get a decision here. So I do like Amirkhani, and I will have a bet on him.
Cool. Magic, are you in that same boat, or are you like Jack here?
Amirkhani by a split decision, absolute lock. I took him by decision plus 225, up just a little bit. It's a good price. Like, the guy cannot even finish his dinner. He will spam takedowns. Maddalena grappling looks pretty questionable on the regionals. The Lusa fight wasn't a great look grappling wise. I really like his boxing. Great boxing for MMA, but this is not boxing, bro. Like, this is MMA. I think when he fights someone good, he's going to be in some deep shit. And yeah, why not? The Myth probably makes this close. He has this striking where he's a horrible striker, but he's like, if you come really close to me, we are swinging. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think Maddalena is going to have an easy fight, an easy time establishing the jab like he usually does. And Myth will get takedowns. Like, he will get takedowns if he goes for them. So why not? Plus 225 by decision. It's a decent number, I think. I don't hate Maddalena inside the distance. He has finished like 9 out of 10 wins, I think, with power. And the number is a little... The number doesn't make much sense compared with his money line. You know what I mean?
Do you guys remember on New Year's I tweeted 2022 is going to be the year that Magic starts playing decision props?
So Malkoun by decision is going to go down as one of the best ever.
I never do decisions. I'd rather just not bet the fight. I can't do it.
I hate it. I honestly hate it. It's strange. I'm always like rooting for the finish, you know, and then I bet a decision. I go, oh, careful there. What are you doing? Yeah. Don't swing.
Yeah, I've actually been betting more overs this last year or two because there are some spots where it's a good bet and it's just not fun. I mean, I suck it up and do it because I want to make money, obviously. But every punch that lands, you're like, oh my god, he's gonna get knocked out. Oh my god, he's gonna get knocked out.
Last week,
it ends up taking years off your life.
Last week, I bet gravely by decision.
Nice. This new strategy is working.
I was like, this guy's going to take him down, and this other guy is like, this impossible to submit. He's going to be fine on bottom, and then he goes like bonk, first punch, forearm punch. He fucking deaths the guy. Fun stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that fight. I gotta go back and watch it. Next up, or sorry, I haven't talked about this one yet. This is an interesting fight. I'm picking Jack outright, but I definitely wouldn't lay any kind of juice on him here just because, like you guys touched on, he has shown a little bit of sketchy defensive grappling, but he should have a huge output advantage here. And I know Amirkhani has fought better competition, but like all things considered, he's had a pretty easy strength of schedule for a guy who's had 5 or 10 fights in the UFC. I don't know. I think Jack's just gonna, it could be one of those fights where Jack's landing more and Amirkhani's getting more top time and it's a split decision that everyone kind of calls robbery on. So I'm definitely picking Jack, but I mean, the way this betting line's trending, I feel like if Amirkhani gets like plus 150, I could probably justify it there. But before that, I just want nothing to do with it. So pass for me. These guys have a little bit more action on it than I do. This next fight, I do have some action on. We have Kape taking on Rogerio Bontorin. I bet Bontorin plus 200. I do think the grappling path is there for him. Kape has shown some holes in his defensive grappling on the regional scene, and a lot's been made of his UFC career so far. There's been a lot of differing takes on what he is. I think he's a pretty good kickboxer. He can be low volume at times. He does have some finishing power for a flyweight, which not a lot of them do. I think there's only been one knockout in the flyweight division this year, and it came this past weekend. But yeah, I do think this line's wide. Bontorin's big. I mean, on top, he should, like, if he gets on top of Kape, it could be the round, could even be a submission. So I do expect Kape to be landing better shots on the feet, but would it be enough to sway rounds if he's only throwing 10 strikes versus Bontorin's 5, then Bontorin ends up getting 2 minutes of top time. So I say all that to say I'm betting Bontorin, and I do think he's the side here. Curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Magic, you start this one off.
I think Kape is going to kill him. Like, I have faded Kape a couple times. He obviously had some huge grappling holes before coming to the UFC. The regional tape in Japan like the fight against Sasaki or Ulta Sasaki, I think it was,
Yeah.
with wrestling shoes. He was getting out grappled all over the ring. But he does. I mean, he has great footwork. It's difficult to get good entries on the guy. He's very fast. He moves very fast, and he's fucking fast with his hands. Like, he has huge power, and he's a great counter puncher. And Bontorin is wild. He stays a little bit upright. His shots are not the best. Like, if he can get him down and get to his back, he has a great chance. But I feel like he's going to get caught, or maybe a flying knee, something like that. I just think he's going to get caught at some point, and Kape inside the distance plus money is pretty good. I don't know why it is plus money, because he's like minus 250 and he has a finishing rate of 90-95%. So yeah, Kape inside the distance pretty big. I hope Bontorin doesn't get cut. He's one of my favorites. Like, his fight against Steve, one of the best of all time. Then he threw the mouthpiece at him after getting knocked out. Legendary.
Yeah, he's a legend. Lance, do you have a side here? Are you passing? What's up?
Yeah, I like Kape in this one. I think by knockouts like plus 130 or so. Like Magic said, it doesn't really make sense where I don't see him winning a decision here. I think if he wins this fight, it's going to be by knockout. So I think at plus money, it makes sense. It's going to be probably a standard where maybe he's losing the fight, maybe he gets taken down, gets up, gets hit a little bit, and then he lands a shot. And I think he can land the shot on this one. And I don't know, plus money with the most likely outcome, I'll be on this one. And it's funny, we always say I can't say Bontorin without assuming he's from Louisiana. So we always say Rosario Bontorin. So if you want to start calling him that, we're trying to make it stick. We call him the Raging Cajun.
But why?
Because if you say Bontorin, it sounds like it's like Louisiana Cajun. It's going to stick.
This is an American thing.
It's an American
thing. That thought.
Louisiana, you wouldn't get it. It's like Barcelona, like how much you hate it.
Yeah, I've been to Barcelona. Can confirm it's the best city in Spain. Next up, we have a great rematch. Zhang Weili taking on Joanna, former champion. Magic, I know you like Zhang a lot. I think you were on her last time. Are you on her here again?
Yeah, there is this narrative going around. It has been going around since they thought that Joanna was massive value in that fight. I really don't see it. Like, I saw Zhang winning the fight. I think she won 4 rounds, three at worst. She has the bigger punch. Joanna is not a grappling threat to her. If anyone has grappling upside, it's going to be Zhang. I don't think they are going to grapple, and Zhang has the biggest punch with both hands, can kick. Joanna really doesn't have power outside of kicking you in the fucking face or something. And 3 rounds favors Zhang, not Joanna. Like, I feel like in the first fight, maybe her cardio was a concern, but she looked pretty good. She doesn't have to worry about cardio here. She has gone 5 a couple times, and I think she can go just, I don't want to say full retard, but she can exchange here at will. I think Zhang is going to win this fight. Minus 160 seems like a good price to me.
I'm surprised you're not on the inside the distance prop. I thought it was coming.
I'm considering knockout. It's not bad. It's like plus 375, right? Something like that.
I haven't looked. Lance,
Plus 350.
Are you on Zhang here as well, or are you thinking Joanna gets it back in the rematch?
I'm on Zhang. I've seen a lot of people on JJ for this fight. It just seems like she doesn't give a shit about fighting anymore. You know, she's taken a couple of years off. She did get an augmentation. And it just seems like her head's not in it. She's been gone for a while. And I think even if she was, in the same place she was before, Zhang is just a better fighter to me. I think in that, in the crazy fight, I think people were seeing it differently than it was. Like, yes, it was a fun fight. It was closest, but I thought it was clear as well. I just think Zhang is the bigger, stronger fighter. And if anything, she's gotten better, and JJ has probably gotten worse over the last couple of years. So I think it's going to be a lot wider, a lot less crazy. I don't think it's going to be as fun. I think it's going to be pretty one-sided. And I think the number where it's at is definitely playable. So I like Zhang here.
Yeah, I feel like
go ahead.
Fake boobs are like a big red flag in women's MMA, in my opinion.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Joanna's look solid. You know what I mean? I said on Twitter that they were combat boobs, and it went like viral. It got like 200 likes. I don't know. They look rock solid. You know what I mean? There are others that you see like Ostovich or Paige Van Zandt. That's for Instagram. But Joanna's tits look like rock solid. Like you can punch that. No problem. You know what I mean?
No comment. I bet on Joanna the first time. at like plus 150. I thought it was a close fight. Could have gone either way. I don't have any crazy hot takes about the scorecard or the value. This time I am picking Zhang to win. No bet for me. Like you guys said, I think 3 rounds favors her a bit. Zhang also has the finishing upside, in my opinion. Joanna taking 2+ years off. I doubt that she's gotten, like, you don't get better at something by not doing it. We've seen Zhang in a couple title fights since then. They didn't go her way, but she's still been out there competing. She's the more active fighter. I love the over in this fight. This fight was nowhere near finishing in a 5-rounder last time. I watched it back, expected the over 2.5 to be like minus 400. Came out like I bet it at minus 235. I think that should be wider. I feel like this goes decision at an extremely high clip. I don't think Joanna is much of any of a finishing threat. I almost feel like her finishing threat is like 5% or less. Zhang, I guess it could happen if Joanna looks completely shot, but she's shown to be durable outside of that Rose KO a few years back. I like the over 2.5. The official pick for me is Zhang by decision. I think she gets it done, and I think she finds herself in a title fight afterwards. Speaking of title fights, Valentina Shevchenko, arguably the greatest female mixed martial artist of all time, taking on Della Santos. A lot of people are predicting the upset in this one. Lance, do you agree with them? Is Della Santos live for an upset here?
No, I don't think so. I hate Shevchenko fights in general. I just do not enjoy them. And you throw in Santos, and there's just no telling how bad this fight's going to be. I feel like we're going to have to earn it to get to this title fight with Glover. In terms of the fight, Shevchenko does seem to play down to competition a little bit until she doesn't. They let her hang, and then maybe she comes out and gets the finish. And eventually that's going to get her in trouble if she's just letting people hang and not being aggressive enough. And I don't think it's this one, but I do think Shevchenko is going to lose eventually. I just don't think if Santos is that one. I know some people think she can take her down, lay on top of her. I just don't think that's the strategy that's going to beat Shevchenko. So I'm not going to play Shevchenko. The line is a bit out of control. I don't blame people for betting Santos at that line, but I'm going to be passing on this one.
Magic MMA. The guy who is not afraid to put 10 units on a big underdog, who's not afraid to pick a sitting champion to lose. What are your thoughts here?
Give me some credit. I picked B-Ball, bro. Like, I made you like 5K on B-Ball.
I know. Credit. That's why I'm saying. That's why.
I bet Santos. Like, this price doesn't make sense to me. I took it fairly big. I mean, not huge, but plus 450, whatever. You can get around that all over the board. Like, it's a very good price. She's very big, very physical. And I think Valentina, if anything, she has 2 weaknesses. She can be grappled by someone strong in the clinch, and her boxing is not the best. Like, she's very clean, but she doesn't really have pop in the boxing. You know what I mean? And Santos throws fucking hard. She has good grappling. She's very strong. I think she can get takedowns here. She only needs 3 rounds. Or maybe a submission early. I don't know. I think the price is wild. Yeah, I like her here. I'll take my shot. I think the line should be much closer. Santos is legit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get it, and I've seen a lot of other people with the same thoughts as you, so it's definitely not a crazy take. I am picking Val. I think the line's fine. I mean, no one – I know you can't MMA math it all the time, but no one who lost to Mara Romero Barella is going to beat Valentina Shevchenko in any kind of fight.
Hear me out. To this day, I don't know how that happened. Like, I watch it back, and
I bet Barella.
How the fuck that happened?
That was a legendary bet. Barella in that fight is a dog.
But Borello has like an insane ability to get submitted. I remember her. No,
yeah,
and
she does.
Santos was on her back for like 4 minutes, something like that, if I remember correctly. That was so stupid. If they fight 100 times, Santos wins like 95 times.
Yeah, she's also probably gotten a little bit better since then, I would imagine. It's been like
she got much more juice. She's roided to the gills, man, Santos.
Yeah.
Every time she comes out to fight and they do this, how do you say it in English? Like the close camera angle. You can see all the acne on her face. It's like, it's wild. And on the back, she's like, oh, she's more jacked than me.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I'm curious. I feel like we'll know pretty quickly whether or not Santos is going to be in this fight. I feel like she's very takedown reliant. Valentina, it might not be the highlight real knockout like she's had a couple of times. It might be one of those more like kind of ho-hum 49-46, 50-45 decisions. But I do think Valentina gets it done. And hopefully we're all still awake by the main event when we get Glover Teixeira defending his belt against Jiri Prochazka. Glover plus 180 right now against Jiri. Glover, 42 years old. Magic, do you think that Glover's time is up, or do you think he has one more dog win in him?
You said me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was checking my phone. Yeah, why the fuck is Glover the underdog here? Like, I get that the guy is 200 years old, but he looks better than ever. Not better than ever, but he looks the best he has looked since the John Jones fight, in my opinion. And you can see it physically too. He looks great. And Prochazka, I mean, don't get me wrong. I really like the guy. He's very spectacular on the feet. He's huge for the division. He's fast and he has power. He has horrendous grappling, horrendous wrestling. Every time he's grappling and he gets put in a bad position, he tries to power out of the position. Zero technique. That is not going to work with Glover. If he gets taken down, he's going to get fucking assassinated. I just don't get it. Glover just needs to be right once. And it's not like on the feet, this is a wipeout. Glover can box. He has power. Prochazka has been hurt in both his UFC fights. Like, Reyes had him out, basically, and then jumped guillotine. He should be in jail for that. He had the guy out and decided to jump guillotine. Wild. And Volkan hurt him at least once in the first round too. As I see it, on the feet, Prochazka is a slight favorite, and in the grappling department, Glover is like minus 1,000. How wrong can you be on Glover? And he's a super durable guy that can get takedowns here, obviously. Like, Dominic Reyes took down Prochazka with one of the worst takedowns I have ever seen in male fighting. Like, it was a high school takedown. Like, it looked like a street fight, and he got him down. And then immediately mounted the guy. Dominic Reyes can't really do jiu-jitsu. He was on mount, and Prochazka was like, oh, get off me. He powered out of it, but with Glover, man, not today. I think he's going to fucking murder the guy, honestly. I'm massive on Glover. Moneyline, inside the distance, submission, feel free to take whatever you feel like taking. If he doesn't die first exchanges, it's Glover season.
That's quite the prediction. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Lance, you on the Glover train or what?
Yeah, there's a few guys I've been blindly betting for a long time, and Glover's one of them. And I think even outside of the money line being as insane as it is based on the situation, the inside the distance is plus 275. Glover inside the distance. He finishes almost all his fights. Yuri, I don't know how he could even go 5 rounds. And I don't even think this is going to be the normal Glover fight where he dies and comes back to life and sweeps and then, kills a guy, which I think that happened like 4 or 5 times. Like, the worst thing you can ever do is mount Glover and put elbows into his face. I think it's going to look more like the Jan fight. I think Yuri's going to come out and throw something stupid like he does, some kind of spinning kick or out of control kick or some kind of spinning back fist or something. And Glover is very good at capitalizing any situation, either when he's on the ground for a sweep or if he's on the feet to even grab a leg. And once he gets a hold of you, he gets everyone down. And Glover is able to get into a dominating position very, very fast. It's kind of like Dubronx where he doesn't sit and guard. He'll immediately kind of transition into something. So I think this one's actually going to look pretty easy for Glover. I think he's going to catch a kick and Jerry does something stupid, takes him down, and then it's either going to be ground and pound until the ref stops it, or what most people do with Glover, they give up and give up the neck, and then it's a wrap there. But I don't even think I'm going to play this straight. I think I'm just going to play Glover inside the distance plus 275. And to me, that's one of the worst lines I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, a couple bold takes from you guys. I definitely don't feel as strongly about it. I'm picking Jiri outright, but I do think from a betting side, it has to be Glover or pass here. It's one of those things. I've gotten so many tweets at me this week saying, oh, Glover is sub or bust. And then the other half of people are like, oh, Jiri's KO or bust. It's like, those are both their likely outcomes. Those are the 2 most likely outcomes by far. It's not like either one of these guys is like, I don't know. It's a pretty straightforward fight. If Glover gets the grappling going, he's going to win. If Jiri knocks him dead, he knocks him dead.
I just feel like Glover can fuck up a couple times. You know what I mean? The guy is basically immortal. Who has finished Glover? Gustafsson, who was a great anti-wrestler and had to knock out the guy 7 times to actually knock him out. You know what I mean? That was a mauling. The
worst thing you can do is knock Glover out. That is the worst. That is the absolute worst thing you can do.
He's like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
The last sweep against Thiago Santos was wild, man. Santos was just fucking done with that fight. He was like, okay, choke me out. I don't want to be here anymore. He went from being basically out to choking him out in like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It was the wildest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I actually bet an alternate total here. I like the under 2.5. There's like minus 170s, minus 175s out there. I feel like that should be closer to minus 250. I feel like Jiri's win conditions more likely a front loaded knockout. And if Glover gets him to the ground, I don't necessarily think it'll take a ton of time after that. I mean, Jiri off his back doesn't have too much. So I feel like that under 2.5 is solid. Even the under 1.5 at plus money, I didn't bet that. I prefer that getting that extra round. But I think unders are pretty solid here. Very binary fight. I know you guys alluded to Glover being a decent boxer, but I can't help but think Jiri knocks him out if this stays on the feet for extended periods of time. I see this is actually probably better than the money line. I feel like the later it goes, the better for Glover, but I'm not in love with laying chalk on anything Jiri related here.
This is like his knockout line, basically, right? Why take that?
Is it? I haven't seen it.
He's not winning a decision. I mean, he can't. And I don't think anything shows us he can go more than 3, 4, 5 rounds. And he gets – I know Glover's boxing isn't as good as Jiri. He doesn't have that power. Plus, defensively, Glover can get hit. But Jiri gets hurt in every single fight. And Glover can land something, and that can lead to a takedown. There's a lot of outcomes here for Glover.
Jiri is not great technically. Like he put it on Reyes real bad, but it's not like he's just drawing you into this fight where his reflexes and his speed win the day because he's long, but it's not like the guy Sugar Ray Leonard behind the jab. You know what I mean? And Glover is really tight. Glover is not going to go out and start swinging at him, and he's going to do like this little head movement he always does, like Anthony Smith fight. Maybe Jiri is going to look like $1 million for 2 minutes, and then bonk, he's on the floor.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Well, guys, we have 140 live viewers right now. We're going to get into some Lambo parlays, but if you guys could just take a second and like this podcast, follow Lance on Twitter, we'd really appreciate it. Everyone's @ is in the description. So while I'm putting together my Lambo parlay, if you guys could do that, would be greatly appreciated. We're 33 episodes into this. We really enjoy it. So thanks again for tuning in. Lance, thanks for coming on. Who wants to start off the Lambo parlay?
So you got to remind me of the rules again. What is the odds supposed to be?
A parlay that could buy a Lambo.
Not a Lambo, but a car. Not a Fiat Punto parlay like Andrew does every time. Like Andrew goes like, I'll put this in, this, and this. 100 to win 400.
That's just simply not true. Come on.
I'll keep it simple. Matthews, Glover, and Choi all to win inside the distance. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Matthews, Glover, and Choi all to win inside the distance. 300 to win 16,000. I think this is solid.
Can you say it in Spanish too?
Why?
Just for our Spanish viewers, we have a lot.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's actually
on Twitter.
not true.
I have messages on Twitter all the time saying like you got to do a podcast in Spanish. Like Barcelona.
That's not true, right? Are you
I get that all the time.
But we can do a podcast in Spanish.
Yeah,
but
we
know like 5 words.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn knockout, submission, decision. Like after that, I'll be good.
Yeah, I think this is hitting.
We got robbed on.
Joe
yeah,
is going
we sure
to kill
did.
the guy. Man, I had Zumagulov and also Da Silva. I was fuming. Fucking Tognoni, I want to kill the guy. It was crazy because these other fights, there were like 600 fence grabs and nobody gave a fuck. And then this guy puts his feet on the fence and okay, that's a point. He's so bad, Tognoni.
I'm putting together an absolute banger right now. I don't know if you guys are ready for this one. I just X'd out by accident. We only have the props for the main card on FanDuel, so I'm a little bit limited here.
Bro.
If anyone has questions, fire them out right now while I'm putting this together. Lance, if you finish your parlay, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm taking my sweet time here.
All right, so I got Glover sub, Allen sub, Matthews, Kape KO, and Choi inside the distance plus 14,000.
That's
solid.
But now you have to actually play it, and if it hits, post the slip. It's so sad that everything is going to hit except Allen because father's plan.
Yeah, you got to play it now because you can't do that and then not.
Yeah, and then if it hits, you are like the biggest clown on Twitter.
Yeah. I've already got that award, so you can't add anything.
I've got a 100 to win 10,000 here. 4 legs. Bontorin by submission. Glover by submission. Jake Matthews money line. And the Zhang fight to go the distance. 100 to win 10,000.
Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah. Bontorin sub. Glover sub. Matthews.
Bontorin sub.
Yeah. Dude, Bontorin is going to take Kape down, and he's going to look like a fish out of water on his back. He's getting walked like a dog in that octagon on Saturday night. Walked like a dog. Yeah, see, dude, I'm telling you, the people want it in Spanish.
If I talk in Spanish, I'm not going to sound like people expect me to sound. I think people expect me to sound like a cholo or something. you know what I mean?
I'm assuming this is I don't know if this is boxing or tennis.
Yeah.
Me either.
Berlangas, yeah. Is this an undefeated prospect that hits very hard, but he's a bum? He's going to get I mean, he has already been exposed. He's going to lose very soon, but I don't know if Angola is going to do it. I expect it a better line.
I don't know. I think this year, right?
I think he's coming. I hope he is. Do you know this guy, Lance?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's coming to the UFC or when.
Great fighter. Would be a great addition.
Yeah.
I think I told Andrew in another episode. I think this guy beats Usman like straight up.
That's insane. That is insane.
That's a bold take,
bro. He's huge at 170, and he's like on all the roids. It's going to be the first time that Usman is fighting someone on an even field, you know, of roids. I mean,
bro, we just talked about this fight. Just go back and watch.
Yeah, he's reliable.
Malkoun by decision. Father's plan. 17 takedowns. Bro,
how many bloody elbow employees?
Like, I don't really do anything on Twitter, and everybody wants to beef with me.
Yeah, you were getting into it with all those old guys.
People think I don't know my Spanish. Like,
what?
You guys really don't think I know my Spanish. Nice try, Juan Bonilla. I probably speak better Spanish than you. You're probably born in the United States. Rangers win series. Yes, we took a couple bad ones in a row, but series is 2-2 coming back to MSG on Thursday. So
apparently we got Soldich manager here.
Soldich is going nowhere.
He has met with the people from the UFC at least twice. I think he's going to the UFC.
This is a good question.
A real question.
Good question. Yeah, a real question or good question.
I mean, this is an easy question. It's obviously
Sure.
Steve.
Steve,
bro. Kai Kara France, Steve. Like how Steve is going to fight for a belt, bro. It's like the greatest thing ever. He's not good,
insane,
but
man.
he's here and he beat Askarov. Like he's a legend, man. If he gets the belt, Steve versus Davison, favorite fight of all time. Can you imagine if he wins and Davison goes up and Steve gets promoted to full champion?
If he's in a title fight, like you have for the undisputed, I feel like he has to put you in his corner.
Yeah, we'll probably win.
Yeah.
Davison will kill him so bad, man. I want that fight to happen.
For me,
but I'm a big Steve fan.
For me, it's probably Jonathan Pierce. I thought he was a bum coming in. He's pretty good.
He's a bum still, though. He's still a bum.
That's rough.
JPP.
Who did you say? I don't know. I really don't
Jonathan
know.
Pierce, JSP.
Ah, JSP. Well, another favorite of mine. JSP, the parking lot king. Yeah, he's great. He's solid until he fights someone good. You know what I mean? But I like his grappling. Solid.
I thought he was like terrible. See, I knew we were getting this question.
You have to take Marin Cilic, I think, the way he's playing. He's like 26-1. Probably a good exit. But take the exit. Don't be like me. I took Ruud. He gets to the final. I let it ride against Nadal. Fantastic.
It was close. You almost got him.
we almost had him. Second set, but then mental breakdown. Yeah. Your boy Brad was on it too. We almost had it.
Anything else, fellas? Lance, you got anything you want to plug before we leave? Let them know where to follow you on Twitter.
Yeah. I think my Twitter handle is @LanceFischel5. Also on a podcast with some of my buddies, the MMA Analysis, which I know some of you guys have been commenting that I see in both chat rooms. So really appreciate you guys having me. It was fun. I listened to your guys' show as well. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Cool. Magic. Anything else before we say goodbye? Say adios to the people.
Adios. How did you say that? Adios.
Adios,
You sound like you are
muchachos.
from Puerto Rico.
I was
Hello.
there a few months ago.
Hola, soy Andrew Gombas. You sound like Masvidal, bro. True Masvidal.
Yeah, that nickname's done.
I know you don't love it, but that nickname is staying forever. Like it's the best nickname ever. Your favorite fighter and you bet against him? Against Jorge Masvidal, Masvidal forever. It's true,
Yeah.
it's true. People love it. I know you don't, but people love it.
They do. People do
You can't
love
give
it.
up a nickname that everyone loves because it's not your choice if the nickname goes or stays. It's everyone
Yeah.
else's.
He was the Gombas pain train before that, but now it's gone. Nobody remembers the Gombas pain train.
You love that one. You would say that one. People.
That was
People
great.
were like,
I'm going to get a T-shirt with the Gombas pain train. You know
dude,
that
I would get DMs. I would get DMs from people that like I never talked to before that just said GPT. like what the hell?
I have this pic that you sent me from the newspaper that says Gombas carries the day at I don't know what wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And then it says in little he placed second. I love that pic. I'm going to get it in a blank T-shirt and GPT.
Yeah, those are the days. Well, anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy the fights this weekend, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
Glover season.